exit that we chopped the hedges down to make room for. And I think a tree. The big issue I might have is with the getting the header trailer out of the way. Because this entrance to the field is a little bit tight. Obviously on the other side, I made quite a lot of space by our yard. I probably shouldn't have taken the tractor and trailer into that field yet. And then at least I could sneak the harvester off to one side. These drivers really don't like passing a harvester on the road. Crazy Gamer 60,000, hi, welcome to my Saturday morning stream. How are you today? Words, oh, get around there. Okay, we are almost to the entrance to the field. I'm doing great. We are 12:30 local time. I am starting to think about lunch, but right now we will get the canola started. Mrs. Osa and Teenage Osa are out, so it's a nice quiet morning here. And actually it's shaping up to be a nice day outside, although probably a little bit chilly. Maybe not as cold as yesterday. Actually, unfold, unfold, come on, unfold. I thought this is a little bit tight here, but seriously, you're not going to let me connect? Oh. How do I get this turned around? I don't. Okay. That might get a better angle. Actually, that looks good. Let's jump out again. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Wow. Oh, come on. Play nice. Bingo. We have connected. Now, oops. We've got to figure out how to get the header trailer out of here. Technically, non-collision parts of the harvester not making it through there. How much space have I got back there? I could... Theoretically, there is now enough space to get through there. So, pH value is a little bit down, but on the whole, I'm thinking our harvest looks good. Let's get the harvester lined up and started. We are into our third harvest on this field, I think. How many years have we played? Check stats lately. So we're on the third harvest. Cut down 26 trees. When the heck did that happen? Oh. Do wooden posts in hedges count as trees? And yay! Crazy Gamer, thank you for the follow. And finally, someone has done something alertable, so I can check the stream. Alright, I have 12 minutes to harvest this field, or we're going to pay another £10,000 or £5,000 leasing costs. Oh, I know why the leasing costs was. No, I don't. I have no idea why the leasing costs were so much. But they come in on the hour, so yes. Anyway, let's get this done. We're going to have to do this from the cab as well, because trees. And that's part of the problem I have with a bigger harvester. I cannot see the field, the edge of the header, and if the edge of the header is way over there, seeing it through the trees can be a bit of a problem. And the trees along the edge of this field are causing me no matter of grief at the moment. We may have to come back and chop these down as well. I wonder if doing this from outside the cab, from the front. Oops. Oh, now that's interesting. We have sort of metallic cutters on the ends. Normally those are red, or at least a lot of the time those are red. Okay. I guess we stand in front of the harvester and look back at it while we chop stuff, which could get you killed if something bad happens. Anyway, we're past the tricksy bit. I am not on Discord now. I really should look into that. The thing, I am a computer programmer, so I spend most of my days on a computer for a major corporation business applications. So the last thing I really want to do is come home and do computer work. Now, one of the bright spots is I've finally figured out how to get the stream to come out at a good quality. So hey, that's a first start. I've managed to reconnect the chat and the alert boxes, which I had, and then they disappeared for some annoying reason. And I think I got that figured out about 3 weeks ago, after 6 months of it not working properly. So I can do it, it's just, do I want to sit down for a couple of hours getting all the things sorted out? And generally no, I've spent my time thinking on a PC. The last thing I want to do is think more in my off time. I kind of want to relax and have some fun and share the fun. So we're sharing the fun today. Okay. I guess we're not going to find out what the environmental score is on this until we've finished harvesting it. We are 46% done, and I think more than halfway round. Easily more than halfway round. So, and we've also cleared off that end of the field, so it means we've got access to our yard, direct access to our yard. which is kind of a good thing. Oh, yeah, this series is a solo series. Saturday morning is my time to play Farm Sim without distraction. I used to stream weekdays and potential of multiplayer games there. The problem is I got a lot of things going on real world, so crashing into a Land Rover, not a good plan. So I don't have time during the weekdays. Obviously, if I did have some time weekdays, I would be more inclined to set up a Discord server and actually invite people to play. But traditionally, this series has always been a single-player Saturday morning stream. And has been going on for about 5 years, I think. Possibly more. 2018... 5 years, yeah, probably. We did all of Farm Sim 19, half of Farm Sim 17, and Farm Sim 22 to date. And it's the same farm for the series. So once I made the move to Farm Sim 22, we started this farm, and it's the only farm I will be playing until we finish it at the end of Farm Sim 22. Now, I don't finish when the next version comes out because I need a map that inspires me. So I kind of like to leave it a couple of months. There's also various mods that I like to play with, so I like to give the modders a chance to produce those mods for the next version of the game. However, Giants has started including a lot of the mods I play with in-game. So things like seasons, things like being able to shift forward reverse manually, and then I use a steering wheel and pedals. The pedals work like they would in a normal vehicle, as opposed to the accelerators go forwards, the brakes go backwards type of thing, which I found immensely annoying. How are we doing? 73%. There's a few mods I want to be available before I switch the series. Plus, there's also, I need a map. I don't usually play on Giants maps. I tend to prefer English maps, although I don't live in England. I'm from England. I don't live in England, so but I'm more familiar with England, so I kind of like being able to play on an English map. And so that's the sort of a theory behind the series is, we started out Farm Sim 17 on Lawfolds. We built a huge farm. We transferred a sizable percentage of the money over to Farm Sim 19 on Oakfield Farm. And this time I decided I wasn't going to continue, technically continue the series. This was a new break. We are starting from scratch. We have no money. We have no equipment. We have a very small farm. And we're playing on hard mode, so we're building it up very slowly. And as I said, this is our third harvest. We are just getting to the point where the farm's getting reasonably comfortable. Most of the equipment's used or rented. Actually, not much of the equipment's rented, but most of the equipment is used. So you know, it hasn't got much. What should I say? That no, the vehicle costs are a little bit elevated. However, the cost of the equipment is much lower than buying new. Okay, that's maybe okay. We do have enough room to squeeze down the side here. But yeah, with a multiplayer, I tend to play on farm manager mode because you get more money, so you can have more equipment to start with. And I am going to have to go back in cab and hope that we can get the trailer underneath the pipe. I think we missed. I think we missed. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to drive past and reverse it back in again. There we go. So yeah, it's kind of a different concept of how do you start a farm so that everybody has something to do. Now, I mean, there's multiple ways to do it. You can either start free map, you know, everybody has their own farm, go and do what you want, or you can play a co-op on a single farm. This is actually good map for multiple farms, but co-op on a single farm, so everybody's working towards the same goals. And that is unloaded. There's not a lot of room to get through there, but we are good. We'll lower that, we'll close that off, and get back to cutting. So that was more, we're around that almost twice in one tank load. We'll definitely finish a 3 headland run without having to empty this. But yeah, maybe I can't really say. Maybe I'll get back to streaming weekdays, but it's not something I can really commit to at this time, and I like to be, I like to be reliable on that count. So this stream is pretty much always 9 o'clock Saturday morning Eastern time, and we're learning as we go. We've got precision farming running, Farm Sim 22 is running with all the bits. And we just learn stuff as we go, and then Giants patches the game, and everything changes. So that's also fun and engaging. But in general, I'm not doing anything outside of this series to figure out if stuff works. We do what we do, and we figure out what's working as we go. And eventually, we make money, and the farm gets bigger. At the moment, I'm in negative money because I still have a loan, which I really should pay off at some point. Oh, we just passed into 3 hours, so we now have 6 minutes per decimal. We've got about 48 minutes to finish this field and not get charged any more leasing fees. Yeah, and we probably will manage that, I think. I do want to see, are we affecting our environmental score at this point? That's still 99. This is 86. It should boost up to 99 when we harvest it. Sorghum, it should be ready in July, August. It appears from my observations so far that crop maturity happens on the first day of the month you've picked. So if you're playing 3-day months, it happens on the first day of each month is when a growth stage happens. So we have a grass field over there that should be ready to cut, and we may check on that before today's out. But I'm not seeing any crop growth on the second day of the month, the third day of the month. And my assumption is if you're playing 4, 5, 6-day months, it's only the maturity or the growth stage only happens on the very first day. It also does what I used to work in the mortgage banking world. It does what the Europeans call a rest. So on the first day of each month, it calculates how much food your animals are going to eat per day of the month. So it basically does a calculation of, okay, your animals are going to eat 2,000 litres of food for the month. How many days are you playing for? Okay, they're going to eat 500 per day. And okay. And good day, Cavalier Roy. I have not downloaded your latest update, which I understand has adjustments for Maize Plus, and I have been holding off even thinking about installing Maize Plus until I get access to that. I know I've watched a couple of Disturbed Simulations YouTube videos in the last week, and he has mentioned that there was an update, but I haven't downloaded it. I'm still playing on, I think, the one that's currently on the Mod Hub now. It was the one where you fixed all the grass contracts and some other things. Okay, I'm coming back to the field entrance, so we are pretty close do I have enough capacity to cut in? That's a big question. Maybe I'll run across the bottom, it'll put me in the right place to unload and empty to the yard, and then we'll figure out after I've unloaded when we do the cut in. Oh. Steady alfalfa allows for much higher compatibility with mulch. I thought there was going to be adjustments for grazing. Or maybe the adjustments for grazing is something that Disturbed Simulations did for his copy of the map. I don't know, but anyway. But if I'm right, if you've added a crop, then that makes gain saves incompatible with what's currently running. Okay, we'll run across the bottom. Because obviously, my big concern with Maize Plus is I've heard it. Robot feeder's not good with Maize Plus because they can't keep up. However, the robot feeders on this map are seriously juiced up, so I'm not sure if they're actually... I'm kind of thinking that they might be... Okay. Not that I was planning to work the grass fields. I'm kind of looking at this as, well, I've improved the grass field that's attached to the cow barn, and I'm leaving it alone now because the cows are eating that. But yes, there was the question about how does the robot feeder cope with the increased food requirement of at least the cows. And that was my understanding. I'm guessing since your cow sheds support 700 head of cattle, that with the robot feeder, that potentially I probably can't run 700 cows without being run ragged trying to feed them all. But I can, the robot feeder will cater for 70 to 100 with maybe a little bit of help from me. At least that's my guess. But I was kind of waiting until I could get a little bit of a confirmation. Right. But if I'm only, if I limit myself to 100 cows, your robot feeders are set up for 700. So I'm assuming less than 100 cows, it won't be too bad of a time keeping them fed. The robot will do fairly well, if not completely cope with it. Obviously, if I start putting 250 cows in the shed, then the robot's got no chance. Without a lot of help. But I've only, the thing, at the moment, I think I've got 30 cows. I've got 30 cows, so I'm guessing I'm probably okay. And what I was planning to do was when I get to introducing Maize Plus with 30 cows, we'll see how quickly the food goes away and then make a call on what the limit is. But I shouldn't be stressing anything at this point. Backwards, there we are. Okay. I'm going to make a guess on the cut through, or cut in. Round about there. And we want to head about 180. Ugh. That's not 180. That's 180. Go. Yeah, I think my thing was to I've looked at how much what's the cruise control button? That's the cruise control button. I've looked at how much food we're going through, and we've manufactured 311,000 litres, and the cows have not eaten a significant amount of it. I'm buying them at 1 year old, and then letting them mature into reproductive state. So we started off with some smaller cows, and we've been letting them get bigger. But I haven't bought any cows in